There are apps that hundreds of millions of people use every day without paying anything. The same apps have paying subscriber bases that generate hundreds of millions of dollars in annual revenue. Both things are true simultaneously, and the gap between them, between the vast majority who never pay and the smaller group who do, is not a problem the business is trying to solve. It is the business model itself. The free users are not a burden on the economics. They are a structural component of them. This is the story of how the freemium model works, how free users and paying users coexist within the same product, why the conversion rate from free to paid does not need to be high to produce substantial revenue, and how the free tier functions simultaneously as a product, a marketing channel, and a retention system. To understand the freemium model, you need to start with the fundamental insight that drives it. In a digital product, the marginal cost of serving one additional user is very low. The servers, the software, the infrastructure, these are largely fixed costs that exist regardless of how many people use the product. Adding one more free user to a platform that already has 10 million users costs the business almost nothing in incremental terms. This means that offering a free tier is not the financial sacrifice it would be for a physical product business. It is a low-cost way to acquire users at a scale that paid products almost never reach. And scale matters enormously in the freemium model because revenue is generated not from the total user base, but from the conversion rate applied to it. If 1% of users convert to a paid plan, a platform with 1 million users has 10,000 paying customers. A platform with 100 million users has 1 million paying customers at the same conversion rate. The absolute number of paying customers, and therefore the revenue, scales with the size of the free user base, even if the conversion rate itself never changes. Growing the free user base is therefore a direct revenue strategy, not a separate activity from monetization. The free tier in a well-designed freemium product is not simply a limited version of the paid product. It is a carefully calibrated experience that delivers genuine value. Enough value that users adopt the product, build habits around it, and integrate it into their daily or professional lives, while withholding specific capabilities that a subset of users will eventually need or want badly enough to pay for. The line between free and paid is drawn not arbitrarily, but at the point where the user has already received meaningful value from the free experience and encounters a specific limitation that disrupts something they are trying to accomplish. This sequencing is important. The freemium model does not ask users to pay before they understand the product's value. It asks them to pay after they have already experienced that value and encountered a natural boundary. By the time a user considers upgrading, they have already invested time in the product, built familiarity with its interface, accumulated data or content within it, and formed a habit of using it. All of that investment makes the decision to pay easier than it would be for a product the user had never tried. The specific features withheld behind the paid tier vary by product type, but follow consistent patterns. Storage limits are one of the most common mechanisms. A free tier provides a certain amount of storage, and users who exceed it must upgrade or stop using the product effectively. Collaboration features are another. Free users can use the product individually, but inviting team members, sharing workspaces, or managing permissions requires a paid plan. Advanced functionality, higher usage limits, priority support, offline access, and the removal of advertising from the free experience are all common paid tier differentiators. In each case, the feature withheld is something that engaged users will eventually encounter as a natural consequence of using the product more deeply or more seriously. The conversion from free to paid is rarely a single dramatic decision. It typically happens gradually, through a series of moments where the free tier's limitations become increasingly inconvenient. A user who bumps against a storage limit for the first time may find a workaround. The second time, they may consider upgrading. The third time, when the workaround fails at an important moment, they upgrade. The freemium model is patient with this process because the cost of maintaining a free user through those early friction points is low, and the conversion, when it happens, produces recurring subscription revenue that often more than justifies the time spent in the free tier. The revenue flow in a freemium business is straightforward once a user converts. The user selects a paid plan, enters their payment information, and begins a recurring subscription. That subscription charges automatically on a monthly or annual cycle, generating predictable revenue that compounds as the paid subscriber base grows. Annual subscriptions, typically offered at a discount to the monthly equivalent, are particularly valuable to freemium businesses because they reduce churn. A user who is paid for a full year has a longer window of engagement before the next renewal decision, during which the product has time to demonstrate ongoing value and deepen the user's investment. The business also benefits from the compounding effect of a growing free user base on future paid conversion. Every free user who joins the platform today is a potential paying customer tomorrow. The pipeline of future revenue is embedded in the current free user count, even though none of that revenue is visible yet. This is why freemium businesses invest heavily in growing their free user base, not because free users generate direct revenue, but because they represent the upstream supply of future conversions that drives long-term revenue growth. Free users also generate indirect value through distribution. When a free user of a productivity tool shares a document with a colleague, that colleague is exposed to the product. When a free user of a design platform publishes work created with that tool, the output carries implicit endorsement of the platform. When a free user recommends a product to their network because they genuinely find it useful, the platform acquires a new potential user at zero marketing cost. The free tier functions as a word-of-mouth distribution mechanism that paid products cannot replicate, because the absence of a price barrier means the product can spread through professional and social networks organically. The reason this model works at scale is the combination of low marginal cost, high lifetime value of converted users, and the compounding nature of both the free user base and the paid subscriber base. The free tier grows through organic distribution and low-friction acquisition. Paid conversions accumulate from that base continuously. Each converted user generates recurring revenue that typically far exceeds the cost of having served them through the free tier. And the longer a paying subscriber remains active, the higher their total lifetime value to the business. What makes freemium particularly scalable compared to other software business models is that the sales process is largely automated. In a traditional enterprise software sale, a salesperson must identify a prospect, conduct demonstrations, manage a procurement process, and negotiate a contract. The freemium model inverts this entirely. The product sells itself through the free experience. By the time a user considers upgrading, they have already been sold by their own experience of the product, not by a salesperson. This means freemium businesses can grow their paying customer base without a proportional increase in sales headcount, which keeps the cost structure lean as revenue scales. The advertising-supported variation of the freemium model adds another dimension. Some freemium products monetize free users directly through advertising, generating revenue from the segment of the user base that never converts to paid. This improves the economics of the free tier. Rather than being a pure cost center, the free tier generates its own revenue stream through ad impressions, which partially or fully offsets the cost of serving free users. The paid tier then offers an ad-free experience as one of its primary differentiators, giving users a concrete reason to upgrade beyond just accessing additional features. What the freemium model reveals about the digital economy is something that challenges the conventional assumption that a business must charge every customer to be financially viable. In a market where the cost of serving an additional user is negligible, and where distribution happens through the product itself rather than through traditional marketing channels, Giving the product away to the many in order to sell it to the few is not a compromise. It is a precisely engineered financial structure, where the free experience creates the conditions under which the paid experience becomes inevitable for a predictable and profitable subset of users. The product is free. The business is built on the small percentage of people who eventually decide it is worth paying for. And that small percentage, multiplied across a user base that grows because the product is free, is enough to build some of the most valuable software companies in the world.